is an issue that just keeps coming back: cat experiments at the UW. You may recall research project director Jeremy Beckham, who was arrested with actor James Cromwell when they interrupted a UW Board of Regents meeting. Well, Jeremy is the spokesperson for PETA's Laboratory Investigations Department. He joins me this morning. And Jeremy, you were also very active near the campus of UW yesterday. Why don't you tell us what PETA was doing yet again on campus and why?
Sure. Yesterday, PETA had a booth at the University of Wisconsin Job Fair, and we were trying to recruit applicants for two different open positions we have right now. One is for an undercover investigator. And what our undercover investigators do is they go inside places like factory farms or laboratories like those here at University of Wisconsin-Madison, or other places that routinely abuse animals, and they document that cruelty. They typically will wear a hidden camera somewhere to show the public images of this cruelty, and also to provide that information to prosecutors to hopefully secure convictions and stop the abuse.
Now, the picture that might be difficult for some people to see is a cat right now. Is that a cat that was at the UW?
That's right. The cat that the cat in the picture that you see is named Double Trouble.
And we don't have to show it again. I think that's enough. Just FYI, you don't want to.
Sure.
It's out there. I know that why you do it, but
it's hard to look at.
Yeah, it is.
It is very hard to look at, and that's exactly why the University of Wisconsin didn't want to release this photograph. That photograph was actually taken by the experimenter responsible for this experiment, and PETA actually had to sue the university under the Wisconsin's open records law, and it took about 3 years of litigation until finally the University of Wisconsin was forced to release these photographs.
Okay, but that's in the past, and we know we have video of you and actor James Cromwell getting arrested. Now let's look to the future. What
Sure.
did that do? The USDA, did they look into the UW? Didn't they fine the UW, finding that a cat was burned named Brock? And
That's
the
right.
USDA also noted that other cats had died from infections?
That's right. In response to a PETA complaint, the U.S. Department of Agriculture inspected UW-Madison. They found that all of the cats used in this experiment suffer from constant recurrent infections. Some of them have become so sick that they've had to be euthanized. Another cat had to have her eye removed, and they did cite the facility for violating the Federal Animal Welfare Act.
Now, I did check with the UW, and I'd like to put their position up on the screen right now as to why animals are used in research. Number one, to explore basic biology, and number two, to develop treatments for diseases and disabilities. They also say that, for example, drugs that would have unacceptable side effects are often discovered first through testing with animals. So when we're looking at a cat with the contraption on its head, isn't this a means to an end to make our lives as humans live longer, better lives?
Well, the first thing is that tests from animals, testing drugs, don't often apply to humans. There are side effects that exhibit themselves in animals that don't in humans. I mean, we all know that, for example, that chocolate is toxic for dogs, but it's not for humans, just to take one example. But the bottom line, too, is that this experiment has nothing to do with testing the efficacy or safety of any kind of drug. It's,
do you know what it was for?
It's really for the experimenter to further his own personal career, to publish papers, to secure constant funding from the federal government. This experiment is funded with taxpayer dollars. $300,000 per year goes to the University of Wisconsin for this experiment. And the experimenter even said in his research proposal that it was specifically to continue to publish papers, which ensures the constant funding from the federal government.
Now, I did look at their website just yesterday, September the 26th, and they said mouse studies reveal promising vitamin D-based treatments for MS.
Right. Well, you know, it's right. I understand what you're saying. But it's very common that the tests from animals will say that they hold promise, but that it very, very, very rarely pans out. There was the former director of the National Cancer Institute, Richard Klausner, who said that we've cured cancer in mice for decades, and it's never panned out in humans. But each time that they've cured cancer in mice, I promise you, there's a news release that went along with that, trumpeting the victory. We cured this mouse of cancer. But when that treatment fails in humans, they don't like to advertise that fact, and it always fails.
Well, Jeremy Beckham, thank you so much. If you would like more information on some of the things PETA is doing and is exposing, go to PETA.org, www.PETA.org. Thank you very much, Jeremy Beckham, for your time. Charlie?